So Muhammad was the messenger of Allah, the prophet of Allah, the great prophet of Allah. Yesterday we started his story about his birth until he was appointed as a prophet at the age of 40. And then he went home and then he was shivering because of fear that who was this man who squeezed him in the grave, in the cave, and letting him to follow whatever he said. Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. And that revelation. And then he was pacified by his wife. And then he started to, later he was commanded by Allah to invite people to Allah, to announce that he's a prophet of Allah and he's giving the message of Allah to the people. And people started to follow him, very few. And they were hidingly to learn the Quran and they were hidingly to pray in a certain place. And they were not saying people about their belief, that they believe in one God. During that time, the Makkah was idol worshipping. There were 360 idols in Kaaba, which is the house of worship built by the Prophet Abraham. And they were worshipping those idols. And the Prophet Muhammad was to eliminate those idols and to believe and worship only one God, La ilaha illallah. That was the message of Prophet Muhammad, La ilaha illallah, and that is the message of all the prophets. There is no God except only one God, Allah. And he started to, he was showing his character for 40 years, and he was going with that character to the people and inviting people to one God. And what was his character? He was speaking the truth. He never tell a lie. He was honoring his word. He never break his words. He was honest. He never cheat people. He was just. He never do injustice to people. He was kind and he was never be cruel. He was generous and he was never be niggard. He was never be greedy, but rather he spent his money out to help people. He helped people not just with his wealth, but with his food and with his effort. He go around and he provide water for the people, needs of the people. He share his food, he share his water. Everything in his life is for giveaway. And then he was taking care of the people. Like example, one of the story which I will just mention today, that is story. The Bilal, he was an African black man from Habasha, and he was a slave to Umayyah bin Khalaf, who was a rich man in Mecca. And one day the Umayyah, he punished to Bilal, and he take off his shirt, and it was a cold weather, malamig, and he told him that whole night you work open air without shirt. And during that time, the Bilal had a very severe fever. He was shaking with a fever. And he was open air, very cold climate, malamig, and then he has no shirt, and he has to work a whole night for his boss. And the Prophet Muhammad, he passed that place, and he saw the Bilal, the black man, the slave of Umayyah bin Khalaf. He was shivering with the cold weather, and he was very weak with high fever. The Prophet Muhammad pitied him. He went back home. He bring the blanket. He brought the hut. He went to Bilal. He let him drink milk, and he covered him with the blanket. And he said, "I will work for you all night. You just rest only." And the Prophet Muhammad, he worked for whole night for his work of Bilal, and he let him to Bilal to be covered with a blanket and let him drink this hot milk. Next night he did the same, and the third night he did the same, until the Bilal was recovered from his sickness and he became strong and his punishment was over. When Bilal heard about his message that there is only one God and you should only worship that God, and the Bilal has a great admiration in his heart for Prophet Muhammad, that this person should be a truthful and he should be a prophet of Allah, and whatever he said, he should be truthful. So Bilal accepted that there is only one God, and now he announced it to his boss and to other people that there is only one God, and he will keep on saying word ahadun ahad, there is only one, there is only one, there is only one God. And his boss started to beat him, punished him, whipping him, putting him under the sunshine, putting the big stone rock on his chest, torturing all kind of things, stoning with the young children, bleeding him out. Bilal was just keeping saying one thing, Ahadun Ahad, Ahadun Ahad. There is only one God. So that was the impression of the character of the Prophet Muhammad on Bilal. So Bilal was go to the conclusion, this is the Prophet of Allah. I believe he is a Prophet of Allah. Because of the great character of Prophet Muhammad, he wins the hearts of the people. The people loved him. Their heart is full of love for Prophet Muhammad because of his beauty of his character. So we have to imitate, we have to copy the character of Prophet Muhammad to show ourselves as a good human being, to whole human being. We can show the best of the characters to win the hearts of the human being. Then they will listen to us what we are saying, and we can justify what we are saying is truth because of our good character. So that was sharing about Prophet Muhammad, one of his story, how great prophet he was, how great human being he was. May Allah guide us, may Allah forgive us.